businessman, Joe.
Joe, I'm one of those people that live just outside the city, so I think I've been labeled a piggybacker. Sounds to me like a fancy word for freeloader, which I don't think I am. But once I'm annexed and the city limit is moved out, are we gonna have another generation of piggybackers? Are you gonna go after all them too? How far are you gonna go out? Are you gonna take the entire county eventually?
Right now, we're just looking to get some borders so we can do some people out. Starting running into the hills, going into the rivers. You know, that's for decisions down the road. Right now, we're just trying to get this established and make some sense of it, because that's what, for us as council is looking at, saying, this looks like it makes business sense. So.
Joe, is that because you're growing your tax base, correct? You've mentioned that several times. You're growing your tax base. Okay, so you don't know, you can't answer the question what the taxes are gonna do in town. But chances are, in my opinion, is it's still gonna take the same amount or more money to run everything that you're doing and bury sewer lines and water mains and electrical. Am I correct so far?
You don't know. See, you don't know who wants to hook up. There could be none of those people say we want water. None of them say that we want energy.
But you're growing your tax base, is that not correct? By doing this, you're growing your tax base. It's still gonna take about the same amount of money to run the city. So who's picking up the slack? You grew your tax base, where's it coming from?
It should be coming in lower taxes. That's the whole point of this, is to reduce the taxes.
For who? Is it gonna lower the city of Neely's residents' taxes? Okay, who's gonna pick up the gap between the city of Neely?
We'll just use a blank example. No work is done. No sewer,
You
no
have to
plumbing.
provide it within a year of statute.
If you want it.
Yeah, they have to.
If you want it. Do you think somebody's gonna wanna hook up to the
Why
water
wouldn't
line?
they when they're paying the tax already?
Why don't you go to the other one? What if they all want it?
They're not.
What if they all want it within a
They're
year?
not paying a fee for the water. They're paying a tax for the ground they're standing on.
What about the
Now,
fire
the
hydrant?
water has a fee to it too. Now all of a sudden, you wanna start paying every month because Aldean's got a well. Why would I wanna pay for a water line?
What you just said, we're getting fire protection. How are you gonna do that without water?
That's part of what the city will have to figure out as we go down the
So
road.
why can't you figure out, what if we all want it? You're gonna have to have some kind of figure, what if we all want it within a year?
Both the landowner be
If they're paying
assessed
the tax, why wouldn't you want
fee
it?
to run that
Who
water, fire
would be paying
protection.
water and sewer and that stuff?
If we get anything, we will.
Eldeen,
No.
Eldeen said,
No, there's not money to be taken.
Eldeen said will be assessed for that. You will. So that's part of why the taxpayer will carry the burden of some of that line. That's why what's being done at Baumgart's is a great deal, because Baumgart's savings is going into the water line to save the people in town.
That ain't gonna help the people on the east.
Well, no.
So we put sewer and water in, we're gonna get that $650,000, $700,000 worth of.
One of the benefits that we do right now is fire protection. So that's one of the.
And we'll get access.
No, police. Access to
So we
city
have
service.
plenty of police.
Pat, will you be able to stay in business if you have to pay for your share? No. So you'll have to close up shop and move.
I'll move out of city limits. I already did that once, and I'll have to do it within a year again.
There's one.
Joe, you're talking about MPPA being higher than what DD is right now. You know, Stewart did this, they went and bought on the open market. Guess what MPPA did? It's an unwritten law, they blackballed Stewart. You were not to eat any meals in that town, you were not to stay overnight in that town, and you're not to buy any gas in that town. So you're buying your electric on the open market. Now, I don't think anybody sat down and figured it, because this is gonna go on forever and ever. So now we have new employees, we have people that have to be able to start those generators. Now you got trucks. You had to get trucks, you had to get more people, because now you're taking over the city, electric. So you had to have them. I think those guys probably get fringe benefits, probably get insurance. That'll go on forever. And I'll guarantee you, that is not figured in to your rate structure.
Can't answer that. I think it would make sense not to do it, so I don't think it will be.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Joe, I have a question, if I may. I have a business in town, but I do not live here. We keep talking about water and sewer and stuff, if they choose to pick that or whatever. What about legal fees for annexation? You know, you have to fee to have legal work done once you annex new areas in.
I can't answer that. I'd have to ask about that, because
I
most
think
of
there
that's
is like
done
a lot of
by
legal,
engineers.
legal
And
fees for
most
that
of
kind of
those
stuff,
are
that would be a
those-
big expense.
Some of those same fees that you fellas asked about is how much is it gonna cost to do this? Well,
So I just wanted to.
we're looking about $35,000, just a guesstimate, probably about what you're probably doing. But anytime the city does something, any major consideration, then you're gonna have engineer fees that are gonna be done. And the reason for that is because then the legal goes to their back and off to our back. Otherwise, we become liable for what they're doing. So this is their estimations of fees that they charge for their business.
Joe, how is the city attorney paid? By the hour, or by the job, or what he can get away with?
He has a fee that,
Is what?
he has a fee that.
Is it by the hour or the job, or what he gets
It's a
away
fee.
with?
When I was on the board before, because I haven't been here long enough to find out, when I was on before, it was an annual amount. So they're allowed to.
Besides the 84,000.
25
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Well, thank you, because that's the world I live in. Dean forgot what he's gonna ask. That's exactly what.
Joe, I have
Oh, I
a
know.
Okay.
At the first annex meeting, we asked for a list of questions and then said they'd get answers. So I take it that none of those questions are ever gonna be answered now.
Most of the stuff that was asked was at the city office, the statutes,
I sent you a written thing, I would expect the courtesy of a written reply back answering my question.
Dana did some of them, but there was some of them that honestly, we just.
Dana the mayor?
So, and I apologize for that, because the answers are there.
I sent you an email
But
asking
see-
for a written reply.
Well, see, one of the problems, Aldine, is a lot of those questions you asked about the cost of the plumbing and how much you're gonna be charged for power, and how much is the sewer and all that gonna cost. And the problem with that is those are those figures that we just talked about that can't be set in concrete until they're engineered.
I'm not asking for a concrete figure.
But
But
even,
God's only gonna
even a
estimate within
ballpark, we
$10,000.
can't legally do. They won't let us do.
But how do you know if it makes sense if you don't know the cost?
In
You
your
can't make a
business.
business decision and not know the
Well,
answer.
see, business and this system doesn't work the same. We have to have figures, and they come from an engineer. The engineer is the one that has the headache on their back. So, and that's why because I looked through the questions and the answers, and a lot of them pertain to this stuff we just couldn't.
I got a question.
Yes.
I understand what you're talking about, but I can't leapfrog over another business, That's why you're explaining why you're doing the annexation. What about just the businesses that want to be annexed? And then, if the point is, we need to annex those so that there's potential room to grow in the future. If I own property on the west side of Highway 14, am I not missing out on that opportunity for Bongards, or not Bongards, Shopko to come there instead? Sure. And so has those people who own the real estate on the west side of 14, have they asked to be annexed? I mean, if there's that potential there for growth and the potential for profitability, it looks like you're limiting only those on the east or the west to have that opportunity for that potential.
Well, you could be right, it could be such a thing that after this is done, then they should annex that, and then it would be. It would be ready for the next step.
Highway 14.
Yeah.
Like west side of 14. Where? From 275 going to the river.
What the church owns.
That's already commercial.
That is already part of the city? That's already annexed in?
I know it's part of the church.
The railroad, that is all in the city.
No, south of the river.
That isn't because that's all in the floodplain.
That's why.
What about north?
Floodplain. The part on the east side of the road of
Okay.
Highway 14, that is in the city.
So then back to if you ask businesses which ones want to be annexed. And if one does not want to be annexed, but the person to the west, let's just go east. The person who owns the property to the east of that, if they have the potential to see a financial gain for Shopko, they're not gonna see it because the individual in between is not willing to be annexed. Wouldn't that person be paying that right? I mean, he's now that person that's closest to the city limits is in the best business to realize that potential gain, that potential of profit. So that's why I don't understand why we don't just, those that want to, allow them to be annexed and proceed that way rather than.
Because at the point in time when some would have to be done, then you would be starting all over with the same process.
Right, but then it would happen when that particular landowner is ready for that.
And if this one didn't want it,
Right.
this one did want it,
So then you
then
have,
you can't do it.
then you have a market situation where somebody needs to buy that middle
But
person out.
you can't.
You think capitalism could really work here in America?
Well, there isn't anything out south of town that is not in a floodplain, it's not up in the city.
What about the people north, going north of town, they're for the cemetery? That's the next step.
For right now, this was the thing
I
to
know,
try to
that's the
fix.
plan.
Yeah, to try to fix this town without going up to.
We already could provide water to one of the people.
It's
that
hard to
wanted it.
pump water up to it.
I know.
I learned that from the city.
So you're gonna have to pump water uphill, and you're gonna have to pump sewer uphill.
Yeah, we had a heck of a time getting water to GMS, and some 20 years ago.
Right.
So that's an issue that's another day in the package. Today is that what we're trying to do is trying to make this a community that will work together. I don't
That's
know.
why we're here.